Hello again, Cosmic Familia. I decided to go and grab another Starseed deck and go into a part 2 for today's session. Part 1 of session 4 is uploading right now. And I felt this niggling feeling that I wasn't done yet for the day. So here we are back again with part 2. This time with the Starseed Oracle. In the first video, I used the Work Your Light deck. From the top of the deck, we have the Courageous Peony. Multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. This card is summoning us to ask ourselves, how are we being called to allow ourselves to be more visible and seen in the world? Flowers don't open and close according to who walks by. They embrace all of what they are and show it to the world around them. The peony doesn't try to compete with the cherry blossom, and the cherry blossom doesn't try to compete with the tulip. They own what they are and trust the time of their own true nature. We are being called to do the same. It's time to open ourselves up to being seen. Time to share our incredible, multifaceted, true nature with the world around us. To uncover and reveal our soul's greatest gifts without wavering. To own our uniqueness without apology. There's a flower on this planet that holds the same qualities that our soul is readying itself to express. Let it inform you. You hear me chewing in the background because I'm breaking fast. Having some chicken and an egg roll. And then when I'm done here, I'm going to cut up some veggies to eat raw. I thoroughly enjoy raw vegetables. Some of them I won't eat raw, like eggplant. I won't eat that raw. Or squash. Of any other kind. Like zucchini. No. I prefer them at least blanched. Anyways. I need to chew up this bite and set this aside. Delicious. We're being guided to own our uniqueness without apology, beloveds. We may have been taught that it's safer to keep our light hidden and our voice small, to hide behind the bushes instead of growing tall. The Courageous Peony is here to remind us that it's safe to embody all of who we truly are. It's safe to share our voice and let ourselves be seen. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, and we may be afraid of what others think. But with each passing day, it does become easier. Little by little, we realize that it draws in those who are meant for us, and experiences we've been longing for arrive at our feet. How are you being called to allow yourself to be more visible and seen in the world? Loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms. Destiny. Addiction. Let God in. Let God in. Loosen your grip, beloveds. We are cyclic beings. And Mother Earth teaches us how to be human every day with the coming and going of the tides and the seasons. If you're clinging to anything, you're resisting the natural flow of who you are. The things we cling to are those we most need to let go of: the food, the substances, the relationship, the job, the people pleasing. The things we cling to often cover up our most vulnerable space, the part we're most afraid to leave empty. The part we guard and don't let God into. But by keeping that space covered with something that doesn't serve us, our clinging to it for fear of it not staying of its own accord, we prevent ourselves from receiving the things that will. A Course in Miracles, written by Rebecca, tells us whatever we leave empty, grace will fill. And the Buddha said, you can only lose what you cling to. Indeed, both are true. If this card appears, you're being called to find the courage to loosen your grip and give the control up. Release coping mechanisms and leave space for grace and God to enter, to surrender all that feels dense to the divine. Loosening our grip doesn't mean that what we're clinging to will go away. It may, or it might stay. But we can be sure that what it is for us will find us, and we will breathe easier knowing that we've shifted from relying on our own strength to surrendering to the grace of life. What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? And there's always more. So let's tap back in and see what more is in store. Oops. Here we go into the Starseed Oracle. Two cards came out together. Trust the timing. And perspective. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. So loosen your grip. So often those who feel like they're here for a reason sense that the time is running out. Spending life worrying that they might miss their moment. But the only way to miss our life or our moment is to spend our time worrying about missing it. It's never too late to answer a calling, and we're never too old. This card came out recently. And it does not lose its impact, no matter how often we see it. The tides of our life are magnificently orchestrated to come in and out in perfect unison. Don't race ahead and ride a wave that was never meant for us. You'll waste your precious time and energy when instead you could be enjoying your life. Everything has a season and you're being called to trust the one you're in. Don't let impatience or comparison, competition, or paranoia disturb the seeds. It seems that everyone has anxiety these days. Disclaimer alert, I am not a doctor. This is not a diagnosis. Constantly scanning for something that they might have missed or a possible threat. Keeping our mind and body pointed in the same direction as our soul is near impossible at such reactive speeds. Right now we're being reminded to take a breath and trust the wave we came in on. To trust the season we are in. Time isn't running out. There's plenty of time, there's no rush, and it's never too late. How can you trust the timing of your life a little more? Perspective. Well, that may help. 12:12 on the timer. As I said that, there's some significance in 12:12. We're going to go over that in just a moment. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture of your life. Step away from the blinkered vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. Change your perspective. Shift your point of view and zoom out, out, out. We are but a speck of dust in the universe, yet we think everything revolves around us. We see the planet as ours to own and conquer, pillaging the land and settling ourselves up for our own eventual extinction. We build fences and walls and create invisible borders. Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive, but we need her. It's time to wake up. A new perspective is urgently needed. We become so lost in our individual experience that we don't realize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are actually distractions. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we should be coming together to heal what's been severed. This moment is a breath in the timeline of our life. This life is a fleeting moment in the tapestry of our soul's experience. Our soul's experience is a flash in the timeline of the known universe. And the known universe is a grain of sand in the timeline of the known universe. The known universe is a grain of sand in the unknown universe. Take a moment to see the bigger picture, to find common ground, to find deep compassion in your heart, to gain a greater perspective of humanity in this fleeting moment, in the timeline of your soul's existence, in the timeline of all that is, was, and ever will be. How are you being called to change your perspective? At the bottom of the deck we have, I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. I feel as though this is a second answer to trusting the timing. So we're just going to place it right over here. As well as ways we can allow ourselves to be seen, our voices to be heard. I'm sorry. I apologize. Please forgive me. We are living in divisive times. When we are hurt and triggered, we tend to see things as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for healing. If we're to find true peace and unity, we need to drop our defenses and see things outside of right and wrong. As souls, we intrinsically remember unity and yearn for it here on earth. Perhaps this is why it feels so painful when we experience the opposite. But it's crucial to remember that we can't simply bypass reality and pretend that unity, love, and forgiveness are here. This is one of the greatest challenges for Starseeds. To bring about unity, we must first acknowledge the ways in which both we and the world have been divisive, personally, ancestrally, and collectively. The shadows, hate, wounds, separation, severing, wrongs, and sadness. We may be called to explore how we, our ancestors, or our society have consciously or unconsciously inflicted pain on others, to find a way to drop the armor around our heart and see things as they truly are for all people. To say I'm sorry with an open heart and mean it. To be part of the healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict or oppression. This isn't about blame. It's about unwinding the patterning that got us here. We may be called to devote our time to causes we believe in or do healing work on our ancestral line. Oh boy, don't you know it. Some of us are already ahead of the curve on that one. So, how are we being called to drop our defenses and unwind past wrongs? At the bottom of the deck, we have the Star family. There may even be answers to that question in this card. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. Star family. Star family. We are a part of a team of souls. Calling support. At some stage, we were each a part of a soul cluster, a gathering of souls who broke away from one another to experience themselves individually. Those who are part of your soul cluster are part of your soul family. Our star family are those souls who are cut from a similar cosmic cloth. We haven't just experienced lifetimes together. Our souls were once actually one. It's very common for star family members to incarnate at similar times, to work with anchoring a similar frequency of light, and to cross paths with each other. I can remember seeing some of you in my past life regressions. I'm not going to say who, because some of you might think I'm delusional. But it is as it is, and we are all part of a soul mission. Time to do away with that bias and conditional love. We know that someone's part of our star family when we feel like we know and remember them from the moment we met. They feel instantly familiar and comfortable. Time both passes quickly and stretches when we are with them. We feel more ourselves with them than with anyone else. It can sometimes feel like looking in the mirror because in a way we are. Often we'll go out of our way to help those in our star family, instinctively knowing it's part of our path. When a star family member passes, we feel it very deeply. Regardless of how long we knew them, a certain soul mourning or soul breaking occurs. Think about the people in your life who do you feel is part of your star family. If this card comes up in a spread, it's likely that we've met someone who is part of our star family or we're about to. What do you think is from the same, who do you think is from the same star family as you? How can you call upon them for support? Let's find out. Jump in. Andromedan energy, adventure, and say yes to change. This is going to go into even more depth about our star family. Andromeda is a spiral galaxy and the closest to the Milky Way. Andromedan starseeds are a group of beings who love their freedom, very adaptable, having a strong willingness and ability to change and go with the flow, to find the calm in the chaos, to swim with the tides. And this card is here to encourage us to do the same. Perhaps we have a significant goal or opportunity ahead of us. If so, we're being guided to jump in and don't wait for permission. Don't stall until you feel ready. Take a deep breath, a good old run up, and dive right in. Life bends for the courageous, and courageous is what we're being called to be. We're already facing the right direction. The only thing left to do is leap. We will figure out the details as we go along. Things may not always be smooth sailing. Life on Earth rarely is. However, it's the rougher seas that teach us how to sail with glory, and once we know that, we can navigate any sea, ocean, or storm. The Andromedans want us to fall in love with surfing the waves of life, to seek more adventures, to embrace our own adaptability and find a way to be the calm in the chaos. We didn't come to Earth to be passive. We came to Earth to truly live. Now take a good run up and leap. How can you be more adventurous? How can you be called to jump right in and leap? Interestingly enough, at the bottom of the deck, we also have Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing, deep cellular healing. Break out those 528 hertz, baby, and heal. (528 Hz) regenerates us on a cellular level, beloveds. Now you know. So let's talk a little bit deeper on this deep cellular healing. This is physical and emotional healing. Beloveds, I'm no stranger to this. I'm well aware that our body is capable of healing itself. Sure enough, the last time I was severely injured, I asked instead of going to the hospital, I just asked the EMT to carry me to my bed and make sure that I'm laying on my back with my hands across my heart as I called upon Archangel Raphael to lay their healing hands on me. And yes, I absolutely did tell them, just put me in my bed and my body and Raphael will do the rest. They might have thought I was a little Lulu, but hey, that's a them problem. Our body knows how to heal. Healing is our natural state. Physical and emotional disharmony can be a reflection of how the world, inner and outer, has been out of alignment. If we're suffering from a mysterious or chronic illness, don't allow yourself to think you've done something wrong. Today, it's difficult to navigate our health. If this card has made its way to us, we're being called to focus on our healing in practical ways, to prioritize deep cellular healing, our health, to be kind and tender to our miraculous body, to give ourselves the grounding and care we need, to put our body first, to nourish ourselves as we would a newborn baby, to treat ourselves with tender care. We may be called to switch things up with our body or our emotional well-being, to call in a team of helpers to support us in navigating any challenges we may be experiencing emotionally. The Arcturians are a galactic group of beings who have manifested deep cellular and emotional healing. They want us to know that it's possible to feel vibrant in our body and well in our skin, to have our cells return to effervescence and vitality, to calmness and contentedness, to have a soothed nervous system and a tranquil heart. In comes this activation. Place your hand over your heart and say, I take back my vitality and energy and feel more and more healthy each and every day. My voice knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. And as we heal, we become healers. And as it is witnessed, it inspires others to do the same. What more can we say yes to? Called Soul Gifts and Training. It's time to step up. Yet another call we cannot ignore. I feel as though it is very much so a part of our soul's mission. We're healing our ancestral lines generation after generation. I remember when my grandmother passed on and I was next to her and my uncle was on the other side of her. And I remember agreeing to take on her trauma. And as it left her body, it was both scary and beautiful simultaneously, because I could see the trauma leaving her and entering me. And it was painful. It was like being stabbed by 1,000 needles. But I understood from a very young age, 3+1, that we came to this earth on a double mission. To grow as a soul, which involves healing, and to bring about a shift in consciousness. The best way to fulfill these personal and collective purposes is to trust what it is that our soul is calling us toward, for it's encoded with the most direct path forward, and it's in our DNA. We can't just take it off like a pair of pants. It's a part of us. It's as much a part of us as the rest of our mind, body, and soul. Our soul has many unique gifts that it came here to share. Some you may already be aware of, others you're just beginning to uncover. We're being called to remember that our soul intelligently chose the perfect conditions to carry out our soul's mission and share our soul's gifts. If we're being called toward a creative project, a passion, or an adventure, this card is our confirmation that we're facing the right way and that this moment right here is destined. If you're feeling underprepared or think, who am I to do that? This card is guiding you to step up and leap, and to consider that your soul has been training for this moment right here for lifetimes. Now place your hand over your heart once again. And repeat after me. I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I've received throughout all of my lifetimes. I'm ready to embody them all now, without hesitation or fear. I fully commit to being here now. I'm ready to step into my soul's highest and most potent calling. I've been training for this for lifetimes. Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. The many assignments on our soul's mission. We are here to learn, to grow, to rise and expand. Earth School, by the way, is one of the most advanced stargates. Advanced. Which means we had to go through lifetimes upon lifetimes of other lessons and growth and studies and higher learning from other timelines. It is an honor to be here, as it is a great initiation for the soul, and life lessons are the curriculum for which we enroll. And these aren't one-time lessons, but themes we choose to circle around, deepening our experience of them as we make our way through the spiral of life. Life lessons aren't only about getting it right, they're also about getting it wrong. Remember that Earth is a planet of polarity. Helps us with this understanding. Each year the study deepens more and more. While we're going through a difficult time, we're being prompted to remember that our soul came here to grow and learn. Took the words right out of my mouth. Try not to look at difficult times as getting it wrong. Instead, see them as opportunities for soul growth. If we can find a way to grow and soften our heart through the highs and lows, our soul is most definitely growing, which is the whole point. This can also mean with this card that we're being called to embark on a new area of study or growth. This could be through structured learning, such as university, school, or a training course. If you're having difficulties in a relationship, you're being reminded that these are opportunities for soul growth. After all, relationships are known as the #1 way that we grow as souls while we are here on earth. How are you being called to grow and learn? Let's go deeper. How are we being called to grow and learn? We have the Messenger card and Sirius energy. Sirius B-A-A. Woo-hoo. Hooty-hoo. Woo-hoo. Hooty-hoo. Sirius energy bringing harmony and balance. Interesting. So we have Andromedan, Arcturian, and Sirius energy here to co-create and collaborate. Much gratitude and appreciation to our ancestors and ascended masters, angels, guides. We are part of the lineage of souls who have dedicated lifetimes to the upliftment of the planet, to returning time and again to seed the light, the crystalline ones, the ones who are here to plant the sacredness of life back in, to honor both the sacred feminine and masculine, to usher deep reverence back in. Many ascended masters are thought to be connected to the energy of Sirius, often appearing as a shade of blue. They hold the frequency of pure love and are here to help the masculine and feminine exist in harmony, to ensure greater balance, to help us see that we're all connected and that the masculine and feminine energies exist within us all. And beloveds, that is the true twin flame journey. If you know, you know. We're being called to bring about this balance and harmony between the masculine and the feminine, to be a guardian of harmony and balance on earth. Think of the whales traveling around the globe, sharing love through their healing, vibrational song. Their unique notes send balance and harmony to every corner of the planet. A rebalancing of the masculine and feminine is occurring worldwide. It's a resurgence of the sacred man and woman. We can begin to bring harmony and balance by creating it in our own life. The ripples will flow from there. We can honor and balance the sacred masculine and feminine energies within ourselves and others. And earlier I felt guided to look up the number 1212 as an angel number, and I was guided that now is the time for that. When we see 1212, it means everything is happening just as it should. It's a reminder to trust in the timing of our lives and have faith that things will work out in the end. So even if things seem tough right now, 1212 encourages us to keep going and trust that better days are ahead, growing spiritually. And that is why this was the perfect time to incorporate this angel number into the message, because it matches perfectly to everything I was just sharing. Encourage positive changes in relationships, assuring a harmonious alignment between career and money, and signifying a clearer life path and spiritual growth. It's a message of hope and guidance from the angels. In terms of love, a sign that our soulmate is either soon to show up or has already arrived. If we aren't in a healthy and harmonious relationship, it could be time to let go of that to make way for the right one. Our angels want us to foster self-belief and a positive attitude as we go through our next transformation. It can be the sign of one cycle ending and the next beginning, one that is built on harmony and reaching our full potential. It can also be a reminder to learn to let things go that are holding us back. We're being guided to work together to create lasting harmony. A positive approach to life right now will guide us to where we need to be. Sorry, I'm getting a little choked up here. Whoa! Look at what's at the bottom of the deck. We were just speaking on the whales and the whale song. So this is going to be the final message for this particular portion. Wow, look at the way the pictures come together. There's the whale tail and the whale. Wow. Huh. Ooh. Oh, baby, baby. We are over here cracking codes. What's up? What's up? Activate. Starseeds. Align. Whale and orca elders, sharing our song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. Y'all know I'm not BSing. It happened right before your eyes. This is how I also know that I am doing what I was meant to do as both a healer and a messenger. Also feeling guided to get a handle on my emotions. Oh, you can't see the tears, but just know they're there. The whales and orca elders are benevolent cosmic beings here to anchor a frequency of love onto the planet. To harmonize with their song. It's taking my breath away. I'm having difficulty swallowing. As they weave around the oceans, they do so much more than any of us know. Their physical presence affects Earth's magnetic field, and their harmonics call us to wake up and remember our own soul's song. Looking into the eyes of a whale is something you'll never forget. Whales see into your very being, and in an instant, you're changed forever. Give me a moment, guys. They see beyond the physical, the woundings, the identity, the personality, the story. They see right into our souls. We pulled this card because we're being called to surrender to our deepest truth and share it with potency. To bow to who we truly are, to stretch our heart wide enough to hold it all. Leave your fears, doubts, and baggage at the door. And put down a salt line. I do. To question any part of you that doesn't feel good enough. The whale and orca leaders want you to give others the privilege of seeing who you truly are. Earth angels, light workers, light warriors, messengers, healers, guardians, avengers, protectors. We are not each other's enemies. The separation is intentional. Together we stand, divided we fall. We're being guided to see the same in other beings, to drop our hang-ups and personality flaws and get busy revealing the unique notes that your soul came here to sing. Allow the song that echoes in the four chambers of your heart to emanate in all four directions. Peel back the layers of suffering and pain and reveal to others your soul's true song. And endeavor to see the soul of all of those you meet. How are you being called to share your soul's unique song? Fall into my arms. Surrender, holding the opposites and extremes of life. Give me just a moment, you guys. I legit have snot like on my face, getting very close to my mouth. So I need to take a moment to clean myself up. I don't mind the taste of tears, actually, but, yeah. Snot bubbles, not so much. Oh, goodness. Wow. Wow. Fall into my arms. The Great Mother ushered us in when we took our first breath, and she'll be there when we draw our last. She knows how challenging life can be, that being human can be lonely and confusing, that the polarity and separation can be excruciating when your soul remembers the oneness of Source. But there's a reason why I said soul members, because our soul members, the other parts of our one, they're feeling it too. They're feeling it as well. Oh. That polarity and separation can be excruciating, but at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. Excuse me for one moment. I'm actually going to step out of the room so that I can blow my nose. I'll be right back. You're all right, Bella. Go to your spot. Go to your spot. Go to your spot. Okay. So often we see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that we're being rewarded, and when things go bad, then perhaps we've done something wrong. However, we're all here to expand and grow, and it's through the extremes of life that we do exactly that. We're being invited to welcome the highs and the lows of the human experience, to let them initiate us more fully into life, the agony and the ecstasy, the beauty and the bitterness. This life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of our experience as a soul. The Great Mother wants us to hand over our loneliness, worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, burdens, and doubts, to lay them on her altar, to fall fully into her arms, to remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. The more wildly the pendulum of life swings, the more truthfully we can say, I've truly lived. Now place your hand on the portal of your heart and say the following. I'm ready to embrace the extremes of my life. I lay all that I'm carrying onto the Great Mother's altar and fall completely into her arms. Venus energy. Last card for today's messages. Surrender to the sweetness. I had to put that card down because I knew it is going to align with everything that I just said. And I have receipts. Beloveds, surrender to the sweetness. Surrender to the sweetness of life. This is a sensual and highly feminine card. After all, Venus is the planet of love, pleasure, joy. It's a call to surrender to the sweetness of life, to let the ever-abundant feminine take over, to taste the fruits you've been working so hard to grow, to let your senses take over and really drink in your life with wonder, to get intoxicated on the simple bounty that this planet has to offer and which we have within us when our well is full. The ancient Babylonians connected the feminine goddess Ishtar to the planet Venus, and in Roman mythology, Venus was the goddess of love and beauty in our night sky. Aside from the moon, Venus shines the brightest. Sophia, Isis, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, I surrender to your parts of my DNA. Time is our most precious resource, and it's the greatest healer. If we've been all work and no play, this is a sign to take some time out to reconnect with our lover, play with our children, and give ourselves the luxury of time without an agenda. Many of us are so busy building our lives that we forget to enjoy them. We forget why we decided to build them in the first place. Disconnection from the sweetness causes more pain than we realize. So many of us walk into soulless buildings 5 days a week in the name of survival. Until we don't. Until we disconnect from the matrix and there's no looking back. We strive to build the life of our dreams, but drive ourselves to exhaustion. This card is wooing us back to the pleasures of being human, to focus on what really matters and enjoying our incredible life. How can you surrender to the sweetness of life? What's one way you can enjoy your life a little more? Thank you so very much for tuning in, beloveds. I hope that these messages find you well. Happy Tuesday and brightest blessings.